So with the cost of fuel going up in Australia, I'm actually very curious to see how EV cars are going to be accepted into more people's homes in Australia. I mean, I grew up having petrol cars in Australia, and I said I would never own an electric car. I've always liked petrol cars, but now living in China and owning an electric car, I can now see the value in owning an electric car. But there's a few things with the Australian adoption of electric cars that I'm still very concerned about. Here in China, everything's very close. There's charging stations everywhere. There's a lot of choices when it comes to electric cars. The government has stimulus packages to help people buy electric cars. So there's a lot going on to try and adopt into electric here. Whereas in Australia, it's still being, I think, on the opposite side, where it's still basically on the outside and people are interested in them, but it's still not really going to be widely adopted. The government's going to be charging levies on owning an electric car because they're not getting a fuel tax. The cost of buying them is still quite expensive. Charging stations are still not readily available. If you charge at home, and you can find charging stations, but I do see that that's going to change. And I'm not saying that it's all great here. I think there's lots of stuff that is going on here with different apps to be able to buy in charging stations. So when I come to this particular charging station, I have a dozen different apps that I can use with different pricing, depending on which one I want to be using. And obviously there's off-peak times and all that sort of stuff to get fuel cheaper as well. But then there's a lot of locations, like the convenience side of things. Like I could charge at home, but at the charging stations near home are always a lot more expensive. Whereas if you take a little bit more of a drive to some of the other charging stations, they can be cheaper. But then I'm also looking at the overall cost of this. I'm here today charging from 50% up to, hopefully about 90-95% to, battery safe. And it's probably going to cost me probably $6 Aussie to fill it up. It's about 30 or 40 yuan. So it's definitely affordable. And to think that I'm worrying about small amounts of where I should go to charge to save some money, when the cost of fuel in Australia is $3 a litre now. So I would hate to see what some people are now being charged to fill up their car to be able to get around, if they could even fill up their car to get around. So yeah, it's just got me thinking how the future of EV cars in Australia and who's going to adopt them and how much is going to be given to the Australian population to be able to charge their cars as well.